Let's talk about a feeling we all know. A feeling that often sits at the very heart of our anxiety and frustration. It's the feeling that your life is a mistake. Not that you made a mistake, but that the life you are living is somehow the wrong one. You look at your job, your relationships, your circumstances, and you feel like you've been miscast in a movie you never auditioned for. You were supposed to be the lead in a triumphant adventure or a heartwarming romance, but you feel like a side character in a slow, confusing drama. This feeling is fueled by a modern cultural phenomenon we could call main character syndrome. We are all encouraged to see our lives as a perfectly curated story arc, with ourselves at the absolute center. We write a script in our heads for how it's all supposed to go. And when the real world, in its infinite and chaotic indifference, fails to follow our script, we don't just feel disappointed. We feel betrayed. We cry out, "This isn't fair. This wasn't supposed to happen to me." We suffer because we believe we are the screenwriters of our own lives, and we get furious when the universe doesn't respect our creative choices. But what if our fundamental role isn't that of the writer? What if our suffering comes from a deep misunderstanding of our place in the cosmos? The Stoic philosopher Epictetus offers us a completely different and ultimately more empowering metaphor for our lives. He gives us a new role to play, one that holds the key to tranquility. He tells us to remember that you are an actor in a play, the character of which is determined by the playwright. Let that metaphor sink in for a moment. The playwright can be interpreted as God, the Logos, fate, or simply the unchangeable nature of the universe. The specific term doesn't matter. What matters is the core insight. You did not write the script. You do not choose the plot. And most importantly, you do not choose your role. What is your role? It is the set of circumstances you are born into, the body you have, the family you are given, the country and historical era you inhabit. These are the givens of your life. You might be cast in the role of a rich person or a poor person. You might be cast in the role of someone who is healthy or someone who lives with a chronic illness. You might be given a long play or a short one. These things, Epictetus says, are determined by the playwright. They are not up to you. This idea might sound fatalistic or depressing at first glance, but it is the absolute opposite. It is the foundation of freedom. The literary giant William Shakespeare, centuries later, would echo this sentiment in his famous monologue from As You Like It, which begins, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players." Shakespeare's tone is more observational, almost melancholy, describing the inevitable roles we are forced to play: the infant, the schoolboy, the lover, the soldier, until we reach old age and exit the stage. But Epictetus's metaphor is far more empowering. He is not just observing that we are actors, he is giving us a specific and noble job. Your job is not to complain about the play. Your job is not to envy the actor with a bigger part. Your job is to be the best possible actor you can be, in the role you have been given. The quality of a performance is not determined by the size of the role, but by the skill and commitment of the performer. Let's bring this into the most human of roles, being a parent. You do not write the script for your child's life. You do not choose their innate personality, their specific talents, or the unique challenges they will face. You have been cast in the role of parent to this specific person. A bad actor in this role would constantly complain about their co-star. They would try to force the child to follow a script they wrote for them, becoming frustrated and angry when the child inevitably expresses their own nature. But a great actor, a stoic parent, embraces the role they have been given. They study their co-star. They learn to work with the child they have, not the one they wish they had. They perform their role with love, patience, and virtue, adapting to the unpredictable scenes of life as they unfold. Their excellence is found in the quality of their performance, not in trying to control the play. So, If we are actors in a play we didn't write, what is our most fundamental instruction? How do we perform our part with excellence and grace, especially when the scene takes a dark or difficult turn? This brings us to the second quote, which is the practical, moment-to-moment guide for the Stoic actor. Epictetus tells us, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." This is the actor's secret. A great actor does not argue with the script. They don't walk on stage during a tragedy and demand that the scene be rewritten as a comedy. They embrace the lines they are given. They find the truth, the meaning, and the opportunity for a great performance within the scene as it is written. To wish that they happen as they do is to fully and completely commit to the reality of the present moment. It is to stop fighting the script. This idea has a powerful name, most famously associated with the philosopher Nietzsche, but with deep roots in Stoicism, Amor Fati, or the love of one's fate. This is not passive resignation. It is not gritting your teeth and tolerating your life. It is an active, joyful, and affirmative embrace of all of it. It is looking at your life, with its triumphs and its tragedies, its beautiful scenes and its ugly ones, and saying, "Yes, this is my play. This is my part, and I will play it with all my heart." Consider the difficult script of living with a chronic illness or a disability. The role has been assigned. A person can spend all their energy demanding the play be different. They can live in a state of constant protest against their own reality, a life defined by bitterness and the feeling of "why me?" This is demanding that things happen as you wish. It is a recipe for perpetual suffering. The Stoic path, the path of Amor Fati, is to first accept the script. This is the role I have been given. Wishing for it to be otherwise is a waste of my precious energy. The instruction is to then take the next step, to wish for it to be this way, because it is this way. This radical acceptance frees up all the energy you were wasting fighting reality and allows you to focus it on the one thing you control, your performance. You can now focus on playing the role of a person managing their illness with grace and courage to the very best of your ability. The circumstances may be difficult, but the performance can be magnificent. When we combine these two metaphors, the actor and the script, we get a complete philosophy for a resilient and meaningful life. First, you must learn to distinguish your role from your performance. You may not have chosen your role, the family you were born into, the body you inhabit, the economic conditions you face, but you have absolute 100% control over your performance of that role. You can play the part of a poor person with dignity and integrity. You can play the part of a wealthy person with generosity and humility. You can play the part of a sick person with courage and grace. Your worth, your character, your entire life's meaning is found in the performance, not the part. Second, you must stop auditioning for a different play. So much of our modern anxiety comes from mentally living in a life we wish we had. We scroll through social media and see other people's plays, and we wish we had their script. This is like an actor on stage in the middle of Hamlet who starts trying to recite lines from a lighthearted comedy. It doesn't work. It creates a disconnect from your own life. Peace and effectiveness come from committing fully to the play you are actually in. Finally, understand that the script's challenges are the source of your opportunity. The difficult scenes, the tragic plot twists, the moments of conflict, these are not mistakes. These are the scenes that allow for a great performance. Courage cannot be demonstrated in a scene of total comfort. Resilience cannot be shown in a scene of constant ease. Generosity cannot be practiced in a scene of no scarcity. The challenges in your script are what make a virtuous and beautiful performance possible. So, the next time you feel that your life has gone off script, the next time you feel you've been miscast in the wrong play, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. The modern world tells you to be a frustrated screenwriter, constantly trying to rewrite the cosmic play to fit your own desires. Epictetus tells you to be a great actor. Embrace the role you have been given. Love the script in front of you, and give the performance of a lifetime. First, remember your place on the cosmic stage, that you are an actor in a play, the character of which is determined by the playwright. And then, step into your role with courage and grace, and don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. That is the path to building your inner citadel. Thank you for joining us today. If this helped you reframe your role in the world, like this video and subscribe for more tools to build a resilient mind. We'll see you next time.